Hey, what's going on, guys? Jayz2Cents here, and if you guys follow on social media, I made kind of a big announcement, and I thought that maybe with the amount of comments and stuff that were going around, it might be a right time to do a Jayz2Cents state of the channel. And I would like to immediately start off by stating, yes, I have a cold sore on my lip. Which is funny they call it that because it's not cold at all. In fact, it kind of burns. So if you do follow me on social media, then you guys were amongst the first to know that I resigned from my full-time job. And that probably surprises a few of you right off the bat because so many of you already figured that I was nothing more than a full-time YouTuber, which kind of bothered me a little bit considering the fact that because I had a full-time job doesn't mean I wasn't putting full-time into YouTube as well. But that's all about to change. This channel started over 2.5 years ago, August 26, 2012, mostly on a dare. Great guy by the name of Holiday Doc, MLG commentator, came across my Twitch channel. He thought I was funny. He thought I would be great at YouTube, and I thought he was full of shit, quite honestly. I made sure to tell him that too, but he kept nagging me until I offered at least to try it. And fast forward now 2.5 years later, and here we are, 267,000 subscribers. Or maybe more. I have no idea, the number's going so fast. Needless to say, it has grown well beyond my expectations. In fact, my first year's goal was 1,000 subscribers, but we did that in 3 months, or 2 months. I don't even know. It's all happened so quickly. Now, just a little bit about my history. I had been working with the same company for nearly 10 years. I was hired as an energy efficiency auditor for a company, actually, doing things like energy efficiency cost analysis and measuring the amount of energy a building was using. It was for a clean energy company. And then later on, and they found out I was actually IT certified. They needed an IT guy, and I got into IT, and then the company continued to grow, and I continued to move up the ladder, and I actually moved up into a very tenured position with the company and was very, very comfortable. But as the channel grew, I found myself having to constantly divide my time where going into work meant I couldn't get things done on the channel and I couldn't fulfill promises and things were slipping. And then I got to the point to where there was times I was using vacation time or even using sick time to catch up on the channel. And that wasn't fair or honest either. And so I found myself burning the candle at both ends, where the only way I could make everybody happy, the only way I could do this was if I was burning the candle at both ends by getting up in the morning, early in the morning, going into work, starting at 6 a.m. There was actually a while there where I took an earlier shift to work an East Coast schedule. My office is actually out of Boston, and telecommuting 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then coming home and then working until about 7 p.m., getting to spend 1 or 2 hours a night at the most with the family, and then working to 2 or 3 in the morning and doing it all over again. So people who are saying like YouTube channels are easy to run, no, they're not. In fact, it was way harder than working IT full-time. Doing that easily for over the last 1.5 years, at that type of schedule, I was burning myself out for both. I didn't want to do YouTube anymore. I didn't want to work anymore. I just wanted to lay in bed. I gave up all my hobbies because I loved doing YouTube. YouTube is my hobby. And so it got to the point to where a decision had to be made. Now, last year, my wife and I worked very, very hard to get rid of our debt. That was our goal for 2014, and we did it. We got rid of all of our credit card debt. 11 credit cards, tax liabilities, and hospital bills completely paid off. In fact, little Jay wasn't even technically paid off for all of her doctor's visits for when she was first born and some health complications that she had, and even that is paid off. We don't own this house, we rent, so we have very little overhead. In fact, we are in a position now to where we can live on very limited means. Now, growing up, my parents always owned and operated their own businesses. They didn't go to work to a 9 to 5. I got to see firsthand from a child up to adult how hard it is to run your own business. Now, there's tons and tons of support on social media, people saying, way to go, Jay, be your own boss. But of course, there are people who are concerned, and I don't fault those people. I think they're coming off from a very good perspective, a very conservative perspective, saying, Jay, don't leave your job, don't leave that security. Well, guys, I'm of the mindset, first of all, that working for other people does not equal security, first of all. Second of all, my successes and my security depends on their personal abilities to run a small business, which is no different than what I'm doing. I'm 100% confident that I can do this, but I can say this with reassurance for you guys. This is not a knee-jerk reaction. This is not something I just woke up this morning and said, you know what? I'm going to resign and be my own boss. This is something that has been in the works for a long time. I spent many sleepless nights trying to figure out if this is what I wanted to do, especially with things being up in the air regarding YouTube and how they're handling monetization and stuff. I said a long time ago I would not put all of my eggs into YouTube, and fortunately they're not. Technically, I've got 5 different avenues at which I currently earn right now, and YouTube is only one of them. So I would not be putting the security of my family or the livelihood or for them into YouTube's AdSense monetization. Not to mention the amount of people who use AdBlock. We barely get monetized on those views anyway. I don't fault you guys for using that because, frankly, the YouTube ads tend to suck. But all I wanted to do was to address the public here saying, this is a choice that I'm making because of my love and dedication to this. Everything you see around here is because you guys watch this channel, and because the quality of life is improving and the quality of the business is improving, I want to be able to see where I can take this. And there became a point to where going into the 9 to 5 each day was costing me time, energy, and money at the end of the day, where I could not devote the amount of dedication that I really want to with this. Now, one other thing that I can say with complete confidence is know that I have done my research, I've done my math, and I have done my studies on what it's going to take, 1, to run a business, been doing it already for almost 3 years, 2, what it takes to survive, the amount of money I need to make, and trust me when I say that we're well above the safe threshold. There is money in the savings, there is money in retirement, in investments, things are good. And this is very, very low risk involved, especially in the near term. I've got a long-term plan here, guys, and know that I have other things in the works that I can do because I'm gonna have more time on my hands. I know that's something every single full-time YouTuber says. Guys, I've got so much in the works, but I can promise you, long-term, over the next couple of years, this is going to be a very interesting ride. But I'm okay with that, because I don't want to look back at the end of the day, or the end of another 5 years, or even another 10 years and say, man, if only I had not been afraid to try. Then I would be stuck just wondering what would have or could have been, and that's worse than trying and failing. I would rather try and fail and say, well, I know what didn't work, and try again. But I'm not the kind of person that's just going to sit around and say, I was too afraid to try. It's not the way I am. It's not the way I operate. But I do want to say thank you to everybody who is very concerned. That means a lot, actually. If you guys weren't concerned, that means you don't care. And the fact that you guys care is a very big deal, because we have to do this together. It's a community effort. You guys watching is what allows all of this to happen. My professional dedication now and the amount of professional time that I set aside means I'm going to have more time for the family at the end of the day. I get some weekends back, hopefully. Not planning on doing a video a day. Guys, I'm not even planning on immediately upping the amount of videos I'm doing. I'm just trying to up the quality of the content first and foremost. I'm not going to be putting advertising or ad revenue everywhere or taking every single advertisement opportunity that comes my way. In fact, I wish I could show you guys, but I turn away more ad requests than probably anybody else. In fact, I turn down most of them. I'm not willing to put ads all over your guys' faces for the sake of money. That's not the way this works, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I know this video has sort of been all over the place, and let me just kind of recap here. First of all, guys, I'm prepared for this. I am set up. I have all contingency plans in place, as well as another business I'm actually doing on the side here, independent of this, that I'm also going to be doing at the same time. We're going to talk about that in the future. That's a tease for now. But I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't 100% confident in my ability to make this succeed, nor would I be doing it if there was even any possibility of there being negative effects for my family. My family is first and foremost my dedication, and I have 100% confidence that I can provide for them. They have 100% confidence in me, and I have a lot of backup plan in place to keep things running if shit hits the fan. So I don't think I just woke up and decided to do this. It's not. This is a long-term, well thought out process with a plan in place. The other thing is I'm not going to be putting ads all over the place. I'm with you guys. Ads are very intrusive, and I'm If you guys have noticed, I've done some ad integrations here. Now, there will be more, but they will always be relevant and they will always be non-intrusive and they will not take away from the overall viewing experience of the video. If you guys only knew how many ads I turn away money left and right. In fact, let me just say I turned down $1,000 today. I know it's easy to just say that, especially since I'm not putting the emails in front of you, but the person who contacted me represented a company that I did not think was relevant to you guys, therefore it was an easy decline. I'm not willing to do that. I think the quality and content that I create here is more than enough to sustain itself, and we'll find out. We'll see how this is going to go. But like I've already said, I would hate myself in the future if I didn't at least try. So you guys have certainly made what was a mediocre life before YouTube certainly really weird one, but a very, very exciting one. And you guys have made everything you hear me say today possible. And for that, I am definitely grateful. I know there's times where I come off a bit rough around the edges, but that's because everything I do is very passionate and I definitely need to work at getting a little bit of the roughness under control. But just know at the end of the day, guys, I'm maybe a larger YouTuber here, but I'm also human who makes mistakes, and I will make more mistakes in the future, but I'm working on that as well. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say today. Got to get out of here. In fact, this video is coming up tomorrow. The GeForce GTX 980 Hybrid. We saw this thing at CES, and I cannot wait to do a live unboxing and benchmarking of that thing as soon as we're done with this video. So, guys, thanks for watching. Once again, thanks for being a part of my life. It's a very big deal. I have nothing but absolute dedication to you guys now with my professional time. I do have a couple of weeks that I'm going to be working still before I depart. There's some exit plans that have to be put into place. I have to make sure that the company is going to be able to survive without me, and I'm helping them come up with a strategy to replace me, which is good. They wanted me to stick around. They really, really wanted to know if there was anything that they could do to help me change my mind, and unfortunately, I'm too dedicated to this for me to, like I said, not try. So right around mid-April is when I'll be going full-time and I'll be hitting the ground running, and the first thing I gotta do is clean this pigsty up. This place is an absolute mess, and I don't like working in clutter. Thanks for watching, and if this all comes crashing down, well, at least I tried. Hopefully you guys hang in there, and if not, I completely understand why you guys leave, because I'm not the prettiest thing to look at, but I hope you guys all love me for my brains. All right, thanks for watching.